Welcome to TUBARS by Uncle Briss. Album reviews, ain't nothing ill as this. Putting on for the tri-state, my state, home of Philly, even the West Coast they feeling. They shared and bombed in Detroit, they watching. Subscribe to the channel, they ain't even an option. International grinding, like it a comment. Ain't no acting Hollywood, he holler back in the comments. Putting out whack music is risky. Peanut butter artists get the skip piece. If you nice, then he rate you on a family scale. Underground to mainstream, he makes it well. Some reviews are so opinionated. On keep it real, like it or hate it. But how can you hate it? It's next to greatness. At Uncle Briss 30, do me that favor. Follow that, promise he'll follow back. Realest thing to hit the internet. Hater, swallow that.
Hey, and I'm back once again. It's the Uncle, and welcome to another episode of TUBARS, the Uncle Briss Review Show. And come on, y'all. How many of us been waiting? We was anticipating all of these little teasers, these little, yeah, I'm coming out this week, I'm coming out that week. So on Friday, my man Frank Ocean decided to give us a little teaser album called Endless. And then on Saturday, he gave us the meat and potatoes and bought us Blond. So you definitely don't want to miss my thoughts on that. And of course, another quality album that came out, my man Tory Lanez, he's been making a buzz, the Toronto representative. Dozens of, well not dozens, but a lot of mixtapes came out. His Chicks tapes was very, very good. So his first full-length LP, I told you, I definitely got to give y'all my thoughts on that. But of course, you know how I do. I got to tell y'all about what I was able to grab this week. Not a whole lot, but my man Nipsey Hussle is back with Slauson Boy 2. You definitely don't want to miss out on that. And of course, Trader Truth, the Texas representative, is back with another 48 hours. You definitely want to grab that, y'all. You know his bars, his spit game is on point always. And also, I just wanted to take a couple of seconds just to some sad news this past week. I lost a real dear artist that I went out to go see. He was very, very talented. He teamed up with another young artist that I actually interviewed, a young guy by the name of Jordan Harris. And I'm talking about this young brother, Quan Lewis. Like I said, I had the opportunity to see him bless the stage. Very talented. They were working on an album called Rings that was supposed to come out later on this past year. And I'm hoping that they still put the album all together with the recordings from Quan and also Jordan, and bring this nice piece of work out that I'm sure is going to be very, very good. But I just want to send my condolences to his family and everybody, all of his supporters. He's getting shown a lot of love on Facebook. He has a GoFundMe thing up on Facebook also, if you guys wanted to, you know, contribute to that. So once again, we lost someone great that was supposed to come out later on this year, and we definitely just need to keep his family in our prayers. And I'll be back after these messages.
I didn't expect this. Cat Track, that right? AKA Fred Peck, that right? Hello. Jump up on the track like hello. These niggas ain't even on my level at all. These niggas ain't even on point when a nigga on point like I'm elbow. My whole clique strapped down, Team Velcro. Criminal, but I ain't going back to jail though. Man, I would love to put this out in the relo, but these damn papers that I'm on say hell no. Rolling through the city in the hoopty with a hype groupie trying to do me. I just hit the chill button, like me up at Lucy. She acting like a badass, listening to boozy. I'm thinking about her giving head at the movie. I get dome, you can eat the. I've been that boy since niggas want coochie. Hot like a sauna, spit like a Uzi. I don't see no cop, these niggas goofy. All eyes on me, these niggas newsy. Everything ass, these niggas booty. I'm the only nigga you don't see any loony. Wanna go to war, nigga, you gon' need Sony. You gon' need money, nigga, you gon' need Tony. I wanna go, my nigga, we rollin'. And I'ma give him hell till the shit freeze over. Jump up on the track like Izzo. I'll spin that from the get-go. I'll spin that crack. In fact, when you hit 16, nigga, that is drop 32 shells from the pistol. Finna get crazy, nigga, Crisco. And when them shots let go, you better get low. 1 round from the pound, it'll kill a hip. streets. I load my piece and I ground the beef. Just catch right patch till I'm found the seats. A while ago I tried to tell them niggas. I tried to school them, they was fools, I had to fail them niggas. These niggas catching wreck, but yet they tell on niggas. You tell on me, my squad will find you, split your melon, nigga. Jump up on the track like yeah.
Hey, and I'm back, and welcome to the second segment of TUBARS, the Uncle Britt Sound Review Show. And of course, come on y'all, this boy been making waves, as I said earlier. My man Tory Lanez, the Toronto representative, a little bit of beef with Drake, you know. They trying to claim the 6, they trying to tell us where that OVO sound comes from and all of that. Well, guess what? Besides all that, my man Tory Lanez has put out some quality music, some quality mixtapes. His Chicks tapes are something definitely that should not be missed. I was waiting for his full-length LP, and he's finally bought out I Told You. Now, this album, it has a nice concept. He touches on a lot of aspects as far as getting his life together. So he's going from his humble beginnings all the way to his successes, with a lot of little dope interludes in between each song that kind of leads you into the next song. So it's definitely an album that has a concept, and as the album goes on, you begin to appreciate it. So you know what? I'ma hop right in. He begins with the I Told You skit. You know, in the past, which his album made me aware of, is that he lost his mother. He was taken in. I don't know if he was taken in by an aunt or somebody, but she's fed up with him, you know, being out in the streets, hustling and doing whatever, being lazy, so she kicks him out. Then it goes into the I Told You / another one track, where he's just basically talking to all the doubters, you know, who doubted him. He's like, yeah, I told you that I'm going to make it, that I'm going to be successful. So it's definitely a great way to begin an album. And, you know, as I said, it goes along with the story, which makes this really, really great for the beginning. Then he gets into an interlude that goes into a song called Guns N' Roses. So basically, you know, Guns N' Roses, the good and the bad. So he's talking about, you know, the bad part, which is the guns, you know, him being out in the streets, and, you know, the roses part, which is him being with this special lady who makes him feel good. So I really, really thought that that was a dope concept. Then, you know, it's another little skit as he's on a mission with his homies. Then we get into a nice track called Flex, where he's basically talking to these boys who, you know, used to front on him. They used to flex on him. Now it's his turn to flex. He's successful now, so it's his opportunity to get all of them back for the flexing. So now he's flexing. So I really, really thought that was dope. Then we get into To Dream, and, you know, on this track, his bars on the last verse is definitely something that needs to be talked about. This boy, he's coming straight at the doubters about how his dreams are now, you know, they've came true, and the production on this particular track is just dope. Then we get into 4 a.m. Flex, and I'm gonna tell you, it's after an interlude about robbing this dude's crib. So he goes into talking about all of this stuff that he has in common with this certain special lady, and he's going to meet her for the 4 a.m. Flex. And then at the end of the song, it's the interlude about the robbery going bad. So I really, really thought that this was a very, very dope track. Then we get into Friends with Benefits, and that's exactly what it means. The title of the song, we all know what Friends with Benefits are. You know, some of us have had some of us have not, and some of us has probably lied about having friends with benefits, but whatever. That's what the song means. So I like that track too. Cold Heart Love, which is actually my favorite song. You know, it kind of begins it with a really, really dope line. So you took a chance with him because you thought that he was cool. He talks about how he gonna get with her, you know, kind of make her feel special, like she belongs to him. So, you know, I just wanted to just shout my man Tory out, because the groove on this track is so smooth, and his vocals, you know, it's like these falsetto vocals, and at the end he brings these bars. The track just goes together really, really well. Now he does use a little bit of auto tunes, you know, throughout the album, but it's not that irritating auto tune that, you know, like them other guys that do it and don't know how to make it sound good with the sound of the album. So I really appreciate the talent and how Tory is able to make everything just level out. Then we get into High, which is another falsetto flow. It's real smooth. You know, he talks about how when he gets with this particular lady, and you know, when she touches him and gets with him and makes him feel high. So I really thought that the concept of that was dope. Dirty Money, he goes through the things that come with being a part of the streets. You know, I just wish at the beginning of the song he was kind of harmonizing, then he kind of switched the flow. So on the back end of the song, you know, unfortunately, in the middle of it, I had the skippies. And then we get into Question Is. And I'm going to tell you, I love this song. This is like the realest song as he talks about his selfishness and just wanting to do things for him. He talks about, you know, being influenced by man and how he's praying to God, begging God to forgive him. He talks about selling drugs. And the one thing that I really appreciated about this track, a lot of dudes don't really get into, you know, their relationships, and he talks about actually helping a woman that was pregnant by him get an abortion. So that is just one of the realest things, and I really appreciate that about this particular track. Loners Boulevard, you know, he goes through his humble beginnings, and you know how some people put faith in him to get him where he's at now. He talks his growth, you know, from his mixtapes to his current status. So I really thought that was dope. All the Girls, you know, that's just one of those like radio tracks. So unfortunately, you know how I feel about those skippies. Then we get into, of course, the single Say It. I can't sing, but whatever. That was the shot last year. We all loved it, and you know, it's on the back end of the album, but it fits in real good. Then we get into Love, another it's like a club track, little calypso sounding track. Unfortunately, skippies. But all in all, listen, y'all, it's a really great piece of work. He really put a nice concept around it. I enjoyed it. You know, it just on the back end, I skipped a couple. I definitely got to rate this my first cousin. I'll be back after these messages.
Check. Hey yo, please check my steez, we about to take off. But first, baby, everything you wearing, take off. I've been working around the clock, never took a day off. Might have took a time out, but now it's time to play ball. Take off, smoother than Nate Dogg. On the fast break, I can 360 jam it. A splash from the tray, give it to you how you want. North Philly is where you find me. Posting in the cut, rolling blunts, be the hobby. Stand back, we about to take off. Perform like I'm Kobe Bryant in the playoffs. When I'm on the track, I can run for days, y'all. Dropping jewels like I'm Adolf when I blaze, y'all. Once you throw the skins, I'ma hit the skate off. Catch me if you can, we about to take off. Wasn't in the plans, we ain't breaking bread off. Wasn't in the plans, we ain't breaking bread, no, yo. Please check my steez, we about to take off. But first, baby, everything you wearing, take off. Like, please check my steez, we about to take off. But first, baby, everything you're wearing, take off. Check it out. Get more spirit, baby. Check it out. It's like, please check my steez, we about to take off. But first, baby, everything you're wearing, take off.
Hey, and I'm back, and welcome to the third segment of TUBARS, the Uncle Britt's Review Show. And listen, come on, y'all, we was all waiting for it. It was being talked about for the past few weeks. He kept teasing us. I'm going to release it this day. It don't come out. I'm going to release it this day. It don't come out. And finally, on Friday, my man Frank Ocean gave us that visual. Plus, he gave us a magazine. The visual album was called Endless. He was doing some work, he always try to get you thinking. He had my girl Jasmine Sullivan on there. So, of course, after Channel Orange, I really loved that particular album, too. He gives us Blond. And you know what? I'ma hop right in. He begins this track showing like showing like two different personalities. This track called Nike. He begins, talking about how women just want to chase you for a check, and he used a little Nike metaphor, so I really thought that was dope. Second half of the song, he gives us that regular voice, and he's talking to a girl about how she can do better, you know, if she chose to be with him and leave alone the dude that she's with. Then we get into a nice love story called Ivy. Let me tell you something. Frank Ocean, he really, his voice and the way that he lays these songs out are really, really good, y'all. You definitely don't want to miss out on this particular track. He talks about, you know, how they used to love each other, how things have changed now, and you know how you think you might hate a person sometimes, but you know, really deep down inside, the love is still there. So I really thought that was a really nice track. And then we get into Pink and White, and on the credits I see that Beyonce is on here, so I'm thinking she's going to be all throughout the song, but she really just is in the background toward the end of the song. And this particular track, I'm telling you, this is genius. This is a really great track, and the groove on this track is so smooth. The second verse on this track is just remarkable. His lyrics are so creative as he talks about, you know, how someone showed him love. I really think that he's talking spiritually on this particular track too, so you really got to listen to the lyrics. This album, you cannot just get this a one over. You really got to put your headphones in and just dig deep on it. And Beyonce sounds really good on the back end. Then we get into Be Yourself. It's like a little interlude from his mother. She calls him up, you know, telling him to separate himself as he's going off to college or whatever. She tries to encourage him not to get high and, you know, just be different from everybody else. Then we hop into this track called Solo. So after that interlude, he goes into a track talking about how he does get high and, you know, the consequences from getting high and making bad decisions, and also how he, you know, he seeks to get high when problems arise, and he's always solo, all by himself when he does it. So I really thought that was a dope track. Skyline 2, another really good track. Self-Control, you know, it starts off a little acoustic-y at the start. Then, you know, the beat comes in a little later, and he's talking to a love that he wishes that he has with someone who makes him lose self-control, and also the young lady wants to stay away from him because he makes her lose her self-control. So I really thought that was a dope concept. Now, this Good Guy interlude, you really got to listen to the lyrics on this. You know, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of talk around it. It's a quick song. You know, I think I know what it's talking about, but I want to know what y'all think. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. We get into Nights, and Nights is just a nice convo. You know, it just sounds to me that he's talking to a friend, a past friend that he used to have. That guy's he's too busy for Frank. Frank really wants to get with him and, you know, kind of, I guess, hash things out and show that he's a true friend. And this guy's just around all these people who really don't care for him, and he still won't reach out to Frank. So I really thought that was a dope concept. Then we get into Solo, the reprise, featuring none other than Andre 3 Stacks. And I'm going to tell you, without going into all the bars, I love how Andre at the end, he talks about how people don't write their lyrics no more. And back when he was doing it, he, you know, well, he still does it, but back when Outkast and them first came out, you had to write all of your bars, and how, you know, well, maybe it would have been a little bit easier if he would have took the same route that these dudes is taking today. So shout out to Andre 3 Stacks for that. Then we get into Pretty Sweet, and this is basically like a call out to his peers, you know, and the leaders of this planet to just, you know, look after our women out here. So I really thought that was a dope track too. The little Facebook story, I really won't get into that. Close to You, a really great homage to Stevie Wonder. You definitely don't want to miss out on that. And my favorite song on this whole album is a track called Siegfried. And it just, he at the beginning, he like kind of describes the beauty of this woman, you know, and what she wears, which makes her beautiful. And I love how he talks about how what people think you should be, you know, the life that you should live, you know, picket fence and all of the fixings and everything, and how he's choosing to just be different and live outside of the box. The vocals are so amazing on this particular track. Talking about being your own person, I'm telling you, I rewinded this track probably like 4 times, y'all. That's how much I love that particular song. Godspeed, look, the table is set. It's a lot of spirituality in this particular track. It kind of has a little churchy feel going into like the middle of the song. He speaks courage and being there for you as God does. Really nice. You cannot listen to this album one time. You really got to give it a couple one-overs. Future Free, which is a 9-minute track. It's like 3 songs in one, you know, with some little interludes in the middle. You definitely don't want to miss out on this album, y'all. We was waiting for it. It's well worth the wait. I'm telling you, he's going to go down in history for this one. I definitely got to rate this one. Peace.
I let you drive my Benz, flossing on your friends' round.